All right, folks. Yo, something really strange was going on my end. Couldn't get the music going, but hey, here we are. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Exciting news, I am playing D&D tonight. It's been a couple of weeks since our last session, so what I want to do now is sort of review what is going on, both from my perspective and from the perspective of the characters and the players. And then we are going to prep a new session. We ended last time with off in the distance, the players had seen a ghost town. And I think that's what we're going to spend some time making this stream. Like, I made this map a few weeks ago. We got all these buildings, and we should put some stuff in those buildings, right? So that is the plan. Twin Steel, yo, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Saint Solitude. All right, yo, everyone, you can hear me all right? You can see everything, that's fine. Okay, let's throw, real fast, try to throw something in the background there. I don't know, I think it would be nice. And sort of get everything in the mood. Maybe not, maybe this is the bad idea to do, but too late, we're already here doing it. All right, cool. All right, on to our document. So, long story short, the campaign I'm running is basically Treasure Island set in the Wild West. The players are traveling with a caravan instead of on a pirate ship, and they're going up a river to a sacred lake that's in these mountains next to a monastery. The reason they are going there is the fish that grants wishes is supposed to be there. The fish that grants wishes disappeared. That was one of the players, like, her goal. She was a druid, supposed to guard this fish, and it vanished. But they know it's supposed to reappear up in this lake according to legend, so she joined this caravan to go there. And along the way, there is a treasure map. Some people in the caravan are secretly a gang of robbers, and they plan to stage a mutiny and seize this treasure map for themselves. The players are slowly beginning to figure out that the treasure map leads to the fish. That the place where legend says the fish is not really the case, and the treasure map is going to be the key to get there and get whatever they want, aka a fish that grants wishes. Okay. So see now, what kind of people are on this caravan? We have Randall, he is the jerk. He is a church law enforcement officer. And what he wants is respect from the leader of the group. And not just from the leader, we're gonna make it and his brother. Well, he has respect from his brother, right? He wants to feel respected by his brother. All right. So this idea that I have in my head is this is going to be like a sibling rivalry sort of thing. The reason Randall is such a jerk to everybody, the reason he's so uptight, is his brother is actually a cleric. Randall is just a parson. He enforces church law, but he was not blessed to be able to cast spells the way his brother is. Zolo Werecat, I just gotta know, how did the map turn out from the stream yesterday? Well, I'm still working on it, right? Like literally 10 minutes before I popped on the stream, I was downstairs putting on some finishing touches, and I'm making a short about the process. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to give it to them tonight, though. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So, yeah, and that's the tension, right? The monastery that they're going to, that's next to the lake that holds the wish fish, is run by Randall's brother. Randall's brother is a chill, laid-back hippie dude who somehow got all these awesome powers, and Randall has a big stick up his butt because he feels slighted, cheated, disrespected, inferior, right? So that's why he pursued a career in church law enforcement. All right, Jane Shorty Gold, this is Long John Silver. She's pretending to be the cook. She's befriended the little boy. She has shown that she is cool by saving the cabin boy from a manticore. So she wants to have this motherly role, but she's too greedy, right? She really wants, her whole life she's been trying to get a big score, and one is finally within her grasp. So these two things are going to come to a head, and the players are going to be there to witness it, intervene, etc., etc. I forget who I named the leader. She has a name, and it escapes me. Oh, okay. I forgot about this little bit right here. The leader of the caravan, she relies on her love interest, but she can't be in love because she's afraid of showing emotion. Right? She can't fall in love with one of her subordinates. And she doesn't want to compromise her status as the leader as having a favorite. Okay, I forgot about that little bit right there. That's good to know. The Thief Ranger. Oh, here's something new that's happened to him. So we need to add this in here. So this is what if Joey from Friends were evil. That's what this guy is. He's secretly in one of the bandits. He also is best friends with the priestess. And he knows about the map. He told the party so. And then here's the key part. How does he know? The party does not know this yet. The cabin boy told him. So here is another twist, right? The cabin boy, the Jim Hawkins figure, he's possessed by a demon. The party found an evil sword that is, like, the sword is a fiend itself. And until they get somebody to give the sword to the fiend, when it's sort of like materializing, the fiend's sort of trapped and bound inside this artifact. And that sword can possess people within 100 feet of it. Something like that. And so the sword constantly possesses this cabin boy because he's, you know, weak, young, whatever, and tries to corrupt the situation. So the sword, which is a fiend, possessed the cabin boy. The cabin boy told this thief, this ranger, Evil Joey, that the map is it, that what they're really after here is a treasure map. So now he knows. Okay. And now he wants the map. To help the mutiny. Okay, so what was he promised? He wasn't promised anything. So he knew that... Okay. Let's put this in here. I want to get these relationships straight about the NPCs. Okay. So he knew there was a mutiny plot. He actually got beat up for it. For drawing too much attention by cheating. By the way, folks, like, all these notes and all of my other home game notes are available on my $1 Patreon. Link in the description. So he was just promised treasure. Sure. But now he knows there's actually a wish. Whatever he wants. Twin Steel. Is the kid influenced, controls, or fully overwhelmed by the demon? When the demon, like, pops out of his sword and possesses something, the cabin boy is the demon, right? The demon has complete control over his body. Okay. And there's the priest. She's good. She wants to have a real family, but all of her companions should get to adventure. That's fine. She's also naive about her friends because she's so desperate to have a family, right? Okay. And so what I like about these NPCs is they all have sort of connections to each other. They all have unfulfilled needs. And those needs lead to character flaws. And that creates a lot of fertile ground to have NPC dialogue, adventure, drama, etc., etc. But I'm also running into a problem. That lately, the players have become too reliant on this, you know, cast of NPCs. Right? That... whenever they face a problem, they're like, oh, let's just go get, you know, the scout to help us out. Oh, let's go get the leader to help us out. Let's go get the priestess to help us out instead of, you know, doing things themselves. So that's kind of a problem. Oh, here's a little table I made. They start with this many wagons, horses, and NPCs. And when they get to the monastery, the more people they keep alive, the better they're off they're going to be. Okay. So what is up in this? I think we're on like session 5 now. Is this true? Yeah, I didn't do this last time, so we're on session 5 now. Okay. So the top of their mind So we're going to explore the ghost town, right? So last session ended with them getting beat up by a bunch of hobgoblins. The hobgoblins got away. They stole one of their wagons, and now they're all, they learned a lesson about smart enemies. But another big problem I have with my campaign is I haven't really made the big bad, their presence known. Right now it's just sort of a series of events. They're going up this river, and they face difficulties along the way. There's not a big overarching plot besides the drama at camp. And part of that's because I haven't really decided what I want to do. We are playing this game set in the past. What I mean by that is I have run other campaigns in the same setting that take place in the future from this campaign. So we know that, 3 years from when this campaign ends, the big global empire is going to collapse, right? So this is the final years of it. So I haven't thought of a way to tie that in yet. And I think what I'm going to do is the big bad evil guy, the reason the fish just appeared is he used the fish. He snuck in there. He used the fish to make a wish to destroy the empire. I think that's going to be the plan, right? But that's a big wish, and so the universe is like slow to react. It's getting there over time. And so all these hobgoblins might be planting the seeds of uncertainty. But maybe not. Okay, so they find the captain doing some... So the reason I brought that all up, right, is I want them to explore this ghost town. I want them to learn about the wider plot. The wider threat. Big bag evil guy's plan. Existence. Plan, etc. Okay. So how am I going to do that? Okay. Well, they're going to go to a ghost town. Why is it a ghost town? Hobgoblins overran it. It was supposed to be protected by the Imperium. And so this is going to be maybe our first clue about this bigger issue that this big empire is going to collapse. Is there more than just ghosts in this town? Werewolves, physical undead, like zombies, etc.? Oh, yeah, I don't mean it's like literally, well, maybe it could be a town full of ghosts, but I mean it's a town that is abandoned. It was once a village, people lived there, but now nothing but destroyed buildings or ruined buildings. But yeah, let's put some ghosts in this ghost town, right? They can meet, they've already met one ghost. So I'm not really sure if like a ghost is the actual monster I'm going to use. What is another type of intelligent undead? Maybe a reverent? That's a good one. That's cool. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Okay. Tells about how the hobgoblins came. The spell stitched? A town chief? What sort of purpose or function was this town? Yeah, it was a mining town. Because I also already have a dungeon that's written out that is like an abandoned mine, right? And that's probably the first thing we're going to put right here. Not there. Hold on. Other side. I'm not going to maybe put this in the notes, but right here is a rail station. And there's going to be like a train powered by like a bound elemental. Okay. Let's go ahead and make a list of things in town. That way I can reference this menu as I go. And you know what I'm not going to do? Is I'm not necessarily going to put this like I'm not going to key it to specific buildings. I'm just going to have a list of things I want to put in, and I can insert them as dramatically appropriate. Or maybe we can like roll a dice. Yeah, perfect. D12. Yeah, I like D12s. Okay. So D12, building, description, interior. Okay. So one, we would have the rail station, so I don't need that. A mundane thing, we have the sheriff's office. Oh man, how do you spell sheriff? The Shire Reef. You know what? I shouldn't describe it as sheriff's office. It doesn't make any sense, right? Maybe I should add another column in here. Okay, you know what? Folks, if I were doing this for like a publication, like if I was going to sell this to you folks, besides just on my $1 Patreon, link in the description, what I would do is do like a physical description of this building. Like, oh, there is stone walls, there are bars over a window, and a sturdy oak door. Unlike everything else, you know, there's stone on the first floor keeping it in. I'll give a physical description rather than just write sheriff's office. That way, when you are running the adventure for your players, you have something to give them to paint a scene. But this is not a published adventure. I'm not selling this. I'm just going to write down sheriff's office and trust myself that I can improvise the image that's inside my head, communicate it. A town jail? Yeah, exactly, Zolo. Exactly. Right? Is the jail cell. Hangman's kit. Let's see now. And can we find the Reverend here? Maybe we can find the Reverend somewhere else, right? Yeah, let's find the Reverend somewhere else, right? 2. This is a townhouse. House. Poor. Like a miner lived here. We'll find the sheriff here. Here, he died. Defending its owners. Val's revenge. What's the Hobgoblin's captain name? Does the Hobgoblin captain have a name? No, I don't think so. You know what? I think I might have given her a name in one of the shorts, but I don't think the players know it yet. Okay. Kursk? Yes, Twin Steel, I think you're maybe right. Either way, right? Now Captain has a name. Okay. Yeah, just for the record, like my YouTube shorts when I talk about home game, they're like probably 95% accurate to real life. But some things, just because I'm constrained by the format, are not one-to-one what happened in real life. But like seriously, it's like, you know, 99, 95% accurate or true to life. So that was an example of it. Like, I'm not really sure if the players know the Hobgoblin captain's name, despite the fact that I said they or mentioned it in the video. Okay. Okay, what else? What other things do we have? We have to have a tavern. Or, yeah, a saloon. We know it's a saloon because there is a bar. There are barrels of whiskey, of beer. Hobgoblins don't drink beer. this is something that someone can discover with an appropriate check. There are deck of playing cards. You sure have an old player piano? No. An inn? Maybe the inn's above the saloon. I think that would make sense, right? Okay, we have some of these buildings I think that are on the map already are going to be pretty obvious. I'm not going to put them on this little list right here. Like, this is going to be, like, obviously a stable with our little corral right there. I would say by the rail station is going to be where the blacksmith is. There's obviously going to be a bank. Actually, put that right here. Let's put the bank. We put courthouse. Yeah. Actually, I'm thinking about it. I think I have little tokens somewhere for these markers. Yeah, I think I made these little tokens when I made that. Yeah, happy saloon music from a player piano sounds fun. I agree. And if my... Yeah, let's do it. Let's just add it in there. Piano. You know what? Oh, it's actually being played by a sprite. So all along the way, I also want to plant this idea that there's a portal to the Feywild somewhere nearby, right? And this sprite moseyed on down from that portal, down the river. Because when the fish grants a wish, it stops being a small little Bobo fish and starts being like a huge Lord Jabu Jabu fish. And so when it went into the Feywild, had to go through this huge portal, and all sorts of other things went in and out. Alright, so what's inside the bank? Treasure! Or did the hobgoblins take the treasure? The hobgoblins would have been smart enough to rob the bank. What am I talking about? Yeah, the vaults have been robbed. That's been cleared out. But I suppose you could find some records of the town. What else would be in there? So this is an opportunity to tell part of the story. So what useful information could the party learn from bank records? That the mine wasn't doing so well, maybe. Okay, and that's why the government stopped funding it? Okay. Yep. Imperium stopped funding defense of the city. There we go. Maybe something small that a hobgoblin left behind. Yo, that's a great idea. So let's find just like another house. Middling. They find gear from hobgoblins. What kind of gear did they find? Furs, part of armor, or part of a dagger, armor. You know what? I also want to put like a good piece of armor in there, right? My players love finding treasure. Most players love finding treasure. So let's just put something nice here. Maybe we can have a helmet with a feather on it. Helm with a feather. What's the feather do? Has some sort of magical property. Maybe it gives you eagle eyes. Lock boxes broken into with non-valuable, personally meaningful items left behind. Perfect. Twin steel. Brilliant. You want to know why that's brilliant? Because it makes the players connect with these NPCs that are dead. that were killed, right? It stops them from being like nameless, faceless things, and you can put little touches on it. Man, not me, but another person, like baby booties, that'd be devastating to find like ransacked in a drawer. Okay. Let's go to this poor person's house. Let's put an upper class house, right? What's some personal effects? Not a silver mirror. Can have a bottle of perfume with a note, with a love note. Yeah. What else can we have? I don't know. Grandpa's cufflinks. Yeah, wrapped in paper. Yeah, I was looking for like small stuff, right? Stuff that's a hobgoblin wouldn't want. Let's look around this room here, right? Yeah, say like a mug, a pewter mug. Yeah, from a trip. This is the upper class home, right? From vacation to the beach. Right? They went to the... You know, they went to Neverwinter. Alright, there we go. Cool. That's really nice. 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Family pictures. Oh, yeah. Yo, in Galder's Gazeteer, link in the description, there is a cantrip that's essentially literally like take little Polaroids. Yeah. Yep. Family photo. So you put some of the stuff in the middling class houses too, right? A nice tea set. That's a good one in here. Tea set, ceramic. Homemade. Spinning wheel. So you know what? A spinning wheel is a weird one because it kind of breaks the aesthetic. Right? Okay. Whoa. Whoa. What happened there, chat? Woo. We went to outer space there for a moment. I can take out spinning wheel. You know, I don't know. Cloth. Okay. Oh, Twin Steel, you got the book for the House Rule Quest. Nice. Nice. Ooh, a pet's collar. That's a nice one. Oh, a cat dish. Yeah. That's a good one. Okay. So inside the courthouse, we can find more documents. That helps tell the story. So yeah, first the miners. Yeah, foreclosures. Increase in crime. And then finally the soldiers moving on, like the guard moving on. Okay. So what other places can we have here? We have a smithy, right? We have a general store. So practically nothing of value, right? a value. Maybe, yeah, only some things the hobgoblins wouldn't want. So what do hobgoblins not want? So what I'm going to do is maybe after I go off stream is I'm going to go open up the equipment list in the player's handbook and just write down some things that hobgoblins find no good. But maybe if they search well enough, maybe if they get a high roll, they can find... Oh, okay. Oh, and then they also find the secret stash, right? They could find the merchant's secret stash. So we're going to do the double treasure, right? Trick. So, like, the hobgoblins found the first safe and lockbox, right? And they took all the loot and they just left. But had they looked a little bit closer, they would have found a second one inside it. You know, like a pirate buries his treasure, 15 feet deep, and then puts in 5 feet of dirt and then puts a little bit of treasure. Same idea. A single can of hoo hash. Yes. Oh man, another thing that I probably could have done, one can of awful, of hoo hash and awful, was go through like playing Red Dead Redemption and like look at some of the knickknacks you could find there. In fact, when I'm playing tonight, I might do that. I might pull up like the Red Dead wiki or something like that just to get a list of things. And then just I have like pieces of reference I can throw in there really fast. I can have something to reference so I can take ideas and throw it at the players really fast. Descriptions, dungeon dressing, loot, things like that. All right, so we need to have some other form of conflict here. So I want something big and bad to show up. I don't want this whole village just to have one reverend who is actually kind of friendly and sympathetic. We need to have some danger in some of these buildings. Okay, so we're going to have a poorhouse that has some undead in it, right? Zombies. A bathhouse. I think that we can find that on top of the saloon. Upstairs is unused inn. Because for a long time, right, like this town was in decline. So the inn would not have been used. And bath. The bath is, though, enchanted. It's filled with hot water. What? You can restore it. You just make, 2d4 plus 2 hit points. No, even more than that. 4d4 plus 4 HP. And gain well rested conditioned. Nice. The rested condition is something that exists in Galder's Gazeteer. Unlike most conditions which are negative, this condition is a boon. Link in the description. All the money goes to Cancer Research Institute, by the way. So it's not like I'm getting rich off that book. Alright. I kind of want there to be a monster that shows up sometime. I think I want... Yeah, I'm so mean to my players. They're not getting a real bath episode. They're just getting like an abandoned inn filled with cobwebs. Okay. The monster is going to be a big one. It's drawn to all the undead. Recently disturbed. Big solo. It's like a death knight, maybe. Maybe not a death knight. Like a wraith of some kind. shadow. Something like that. Riding a mount. The image I have in my head is like a ring wraith on the big whoosh whoosh things, whatever they're called. Okay. And that'll be a cool encounter. And we also have the entire mine. The mine's already all planned out, I'm pretty sure. A mother spore like in Diablo. What are the PC's levels? I think they're level 4 or 5. I think they're level 4 right now, and after they clear this town, they're probably level 5. After they clear their mine, they'll probably be level 5. You know what? I need to prepare for the possibility that they're going to skip this town entirely. Right? Like, there's nothing saying that they have to go explore this place. Okay, well, think of 3 more things. These are all going to be dangerous. Actually, you know what? We'll put the zombies right here. Okay. What's another really dangerous thing that they could they could find here? Is it some kind of... I don't know. So, where can I go for inspiration for Wild West monsters? I can look in Xanathar's and just roll on the Hills table. Maybe I can just put this monster up as number 12, like when they explore whatever house this comes. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. But then again, everything that we have here is now just undead, and that's not very interesting. Alright. Okay. What sort of things would move into an abandoned town in the desert just to live there? Giant scorpions? Okay, yeah, let's do that one, right? A troll cowboy? Yes! Yes! Okay. Nice, right? Cool. This is a big house. A hospital? That's not a bad place. Like a church? Yeah, a temple. Hospital, right? It's a dual church. Yeah. Nope, it's a church of the Red God. To the Red God. Mining, healing. Only to damage from working. Or fighting. Right, like if you just get sick with a cold, like this church's not gonna do anything for you. But if you got hurt in the mines, like this place would be able to help you out. A Garth Beholder. Spiders, that's a good one. Yeah, let's do vermin, right? You see a swarm of scorpions fleeing. Then big spiders. You know, I think I've done spiders recently. I don't think I've ever done giant spiders with them. So this will be new, yeah. In the basement. Okay. So, what kind of building would have a big basement underneath it? Like a barn, maybe? What's gonna have a root cellar? A mill. Would that make sense? No, they're not really growing. I'm supposed to growing some crops here. Yeah, so they have a mill with a big root cellar that's going to be held in communal property. So the key to this is in the courthouse. And this will be the second building that has a stone foundation because it needs to have a lot of strength to hold the mill on top. It also has a well. Okay. It's a mill. No, we can't have a well because we want to have a root cellar. Okay, that's fine. Or maybe the spiders are down the well. Yeah, that's even better. It's a mill / well. Okay, cool. Yeah, because you have one like windmill on top that does both to turn the grindstone and to pump water. That works. That works. Cool. Okay, so we have, this is kind of dangerous. I think one of these needs to have like a trap in it, maybe. Like the bank. Yeah, the bank needs to have a trap. The trap automatically resets. Resets, it's magic. Magic. So even though the vault is empty, it still goes off. It goes off. Okay. You need like a special password to say to deactivate. Is found in the big house. Yeah, right? If you go to the upper class houses, you look through his diary, you'll find the password that lets you into the vault, even though the vault is empty. You know what? Maybe, I'll tell you what, chat. If the players go through the effort, find the password, deactivate the trap, and go into the vault, maybe I'll move the bit from this general store with the double treasure into that vault. Because I want to reward them for going through that effort. Like, that would not be fun to go through all that and still get no reward. Right? Remember, this idea of being an evil dungeon master is a kayfabe. It's something we like to pretend, right? That I'm always out to get them, but really I'm on their side. We're here to have a good time. All right. Okay. So, but the hobgoblins are not the big bad evil guy, right? The hobgoblins are just the tools of the big bad evil guy. The big bad evil guy, this, gnome whose family was slighted long ago, he's using them to upset people in the area, to make them no longer believe in this vast empire and its effectiveness. That they would be better off not relying on this outside power. So none of this really reveals that. So I guess then the question kind of becomes, how can I work that into any of this? Learn a song that brings the rain there. Oh. Yeah, the well mill like in Zelda. Actually, yeah. Yes, we are going to do that. That brings rain. How? You find a spell scroll. Now let's go. You have to find a magic item for control weather. Or is that too powerful, right? Okay, maybe not control weather. For call lightning. That's sick. That's an excellent piece of... Okay, yeah. Yeah, so once a day. Cast item through a flute. Cool. All right. What else do we want to do? I need to make some other encounters in case they ignore all of this. Okay, we haven't done this one. This dilemma. The caravan gets attacked by hobgoblins or a natural disaster. And 2 different resources are threatened. Okay, I haven't done this one. We did this. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe like cross this out. Can I do that? Is there an easy button to do that? We did this one already. We did this one already. The campfire gambling scene. Yeah. You know what? We're going to do those. That looks ugly. We did this already. We did this one already. Okay. So yeah, we are out of encounters that I've already ran. I mean, this is a whole lot right here. This is probably like a whole session. Oh yeah, plus the big boss at the end. You know what? So at the start, maybe we can throw in a little bit of role play. Because the other thing that we're still waiting to pop is... Okay, yeah, here's a scene that we can insert, right? The boy, the cabin boy. What's his name? Thames? Or so that they learn that he's possessed. Okay. / demon. Revenge. Goes after... Yeah, or what's he going to do? He's going to try to tempt them again. So this demon who's inside the sword, who's going to possess the cabin boy, he wants the party just to give him the sword. While he's in the cabin boy form, or when he's like appearing as, you know, his human form, he wants the party to just give him the sword so he can be free. But until that happens, he's sort of bound and stuck there. So that demon, Revenge, is willing to do pretty much anything to get it to happen, including trying to say, hey, I will give you this map. And that didn't work. So now he's saying, well, I have the boy. I will give you the boy if you give me the map, or if you give me the sword. Yep, there we go. I'll make my offer, because they already made this offer once, then they declined, right? I'll make the offer again. For again, only one more time. Of course, they're going to refuse. Make this offer again. Give me the sword. And you can have the boy. The last time this happened, though, the demon was like standing next to them in like his human form. The devil was standing next to them in his human form. Now, they'll be able to see that he's actually possessing this kid. And what's going to be the juice? He'll never get out of this alive. He knows too much about what's at the end of this rainbow. We're going to use that phrase specifically because on the treasure map, you go up a rainbow waterfall. It's rainbow. Okay. Cool. There we go. That's a nice roleplay scene right there. Should be heading 3. Okay. And we have a lot of stuff here, right? Okay. So we have a bunch of stuff that you can find exploring this town. I think I'm going to spend a little bit more time on here. Okay, I think we can add like one more little twist. No, what we want to do is think of another something that could happen outside of the town. Another like Wild West style encounter. We have this Hobgoblin Dilemma. That's not bad. So what is this one? Okay. We'll move this. Oops. We'll move this down here. Okay, the caravan gets attacked by hobgoblins or a natural disaster. So maybe, can we do a natural disaster? We've done a sandstorm. We've done the giant rattlesnake. We've done the earth portal opening up. Maybe just getting straight up attacked by hobgoblins is not the worst idea. Okay. 2 different resources are being threatened. Okay. The food wagon. And the hay? No. Okay, so one thing. So let's work out this encounter a little bit. Okay, let's think about this. I like the idea of the food wagon being attacked. Okay, by hobgoblins. Nodes. They go after opposite ends of caravan at the same time. Okay, the first cart is food. Last cart is let's make the last cart the food actually, and the first cart be the goods. Alright, and the party starts out in the middle. The other NPCs are going to hold down the middle and protect the civilians. So in addition to like the key NPCs I talked about at the start of the stream, there's also a whole mess of just like regular people that are in this caravan, right? Nameless, faceless NPCs that just exist. So we have, you know, for the coherence of the story. That we have people that can be put in danger by monsters. That we have people who can, you know, eat the rest of the food, etc., etc. Okay. And we're going to have some hobgoblin tactics. Oh, I was smart about this encounter. Look at this at the very end. The hobgoblins are going to try to run off with the goods or burn the food, figuring the party will starve, the caravan will starve, and they can steal their goods anyway. That might be a better encounter. Right? The hobgoblins don't try to steal the goods necessarily. They try to just burn the food carts. Oh, I kind of like that. So maybe we don't have a dilemma. Maybe we just have a whole bunch of food carts that need to be protected. Oh. Okay, I'm going to keep this up in the air until maybe like the very last minute. And then if I set this out on the table, I'll make a decision. I kind of like the idea of having just the hobgoblins go after try to burn the food carts. Figuring that everyone will starve and they just get their goods that way. Yeah, I like that. A Zorn! Oh, munching gems by the bank. Uncovered by the storm. Drawn to by the hobgoblins. I think I have rust monsters in the mine dungeon they could visit. Oh, that's the other thing they can do. They don't go here, they go to the mine. Okay. Yo, chat, thank you so much for helping out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Like, share, subscribe. I'm only like 7 subscribers away from 72,000. That would really make my day. $1 Patreon description, you get this and all my other screams. And until next time, see ya.